Please understand that taking accountability for other people's emotions is a form of self sabotage. You are not responsible for how other people react, respond, or even how they perceive you. And I'm saying that as a result of my own observations in the workplace, in my own career, and also just from some of the people that I've mentored and coached. Um, when you are advocating for yourself, it is not then for you to be concerned about how other people process their emotions or their responses, right? As long as you have delivered your message in a way that is respectful, that is done with emotional intelligence and due consideration, it is up to that other person now to process their emotions. Okay? And I'm saying this as a result of, you know, something that I noticed in part of a mentoring and coaching session where there was fear of offending people by speaking up for themselves. And I want to say that there is nothing wrong with speaking up for yourself. This is something that you have to do, especially in the workplace, right? Because it's very hierarchical, it's also highly competitive. It's the Hunger Games and Survivor out there. So if you are not speaking up for yourself and expecting other people to advocate for you, it's not going to happen. Yes, there are some instances where there are people who are looking out for you, but I would say 95 to 99% of the time they are not. People are looking out for themselves. So if you are going to be going into those environments being afraid of speaking up for yourself, and telling people what you want, what you expect, for the fear of offending them or whatever the case may be, you are not going to get far. All right. And even if it's not just your career, even if it's in relationships, romantic relationships, friendships, you have to be in a position where you can advocate for yourself, express your needs and wants to somebody, and allow that person then to process their own response, reactions, and emotions as it relates to that. Right? Don't be putting yourself in a position of overthinking and thinking for on behalf of the other person, or even feeling on behalf of the other person. I mean, that's a mother load to take on. It's actually a burden. And what it ends up doing is frustrating you, right? Because you are doing double time now. You are carrying somebody else's weight in addition to your own. Okay? The only thing that you can control is your approach and your emotions, other people's reactions, their emotions, how they respond is their business. It's out of your control. Yes, you can influence it in terms of how you deliver, that you're doing it in a emotionally intelligent way, and that you are aware, of how you are communicating. But the processing part is up to them, because you are already processing your own things, your own thoughts, your own emotions. And I've found that even in my mentoring and coaching spaces, a lot of young professionals struggle with this, in that they tend to overthink and think on behalf of the other person and start catastrophizing about how they're going to feel, how they're going to respond. Oh, I don't want to offend them. I need to be humble. Why? Why do you need to be humble in the workplace when other people are not being humble? That's how you get overworked and abused in the workplace, right? Because you are not representing yourself. A, because you are looking for other people to do it for you, which they don't. B, because you are afraid of how you will be perceived. You are not in control of how people perceive you. You actually are not. Because you can be the best performing person, the most humble, the most beautiful people, and people will still stand against you if they want to. They will still react the way they want to because the mental thoughts, everything is happening within them, not within you. Okay? So I need you to quit taking on the emotions, reactions, and responses of others as your own, because that's a means of frustrating your own life. That's how you slow yourself down. That's how you self sabotage. And you cannot then blame the outer world or the other person by saying that you couldn't get ahead or you couldn't get what you want because they sabotaged you, because in actual fact, you would have been the person who sabotaged yourself by not standing up for yourself, by not expressing just because you were scared of how they would respond. You have to be smart about this, yes, be emotionally intelligent, use your intuition, that discernment, your gut instinct, as I've spoken about before, right? But once you have done that, then you need to let it go. Don't be burdening yourself with other people's reactions because they're not yours to own.